When you truly commit to something, it means you're all in, mind, body, and soul. There's no halfway. There's no safety net waiting to catch you if things don't go as planned. Having a plan B might sound smart, but in reality, it's often the very thing that keeps people from reaching their full potential. When you give yourself another option, you subconsciously tell yourself that failure is acceptable. You tell yourself that if it gets hard, you can always fall back on something easier. But greatness doesn't live in comfort. It lives in total commitment. The ones who rise to the top are those who burn every bridge behind them, who remove every escape route, and who decide, I'm going to make this happen no matter what it takes. Think about the warriors of old who went into battle and burned their ships so there was no way to retreat. They understood something powerful. When you have no choice but to win, you fight differently. You think differently. You move with urgency and purpose. The same principle applies to your dreams. If you always keep a backup plan, your focus will be divided. You'll never give 100% because part of you will always be looking over your shoulder, wondering if it's safer to turn back. But when you eliminate plan B, something changes inside you. You start to operate with a different kind of energy, a fire that can't be extinguished. You start to give your best because there is no other option but success. When you commit fully, your mind becomes sharper and more creative. You start finding solutions instead of excuses. You begin to push yourself to learn more, to improve, to adapt. Why? Because failure is not an option. When you're backed into a corner, you discover strength you didn't even know you had. You dig deeper, you stay up later, and you push past limits that used to stop you. That's when growth happens. That's when transformation takes place. Success doesn't come to the person who dabbles. It comes to the one who dedicates. Many people never reach their goals, not because they lack talent, but because they lack total commitment. They want to keep one foot in and one foot out, afraid to risk everything. But the truth is, you cannot conquer what you're not willing to fully commit to. When you hold back even a little, the universe responds with the same hesitation. But when you go all in, when you give everything you have, doors start opening, opportunities start appearing, and people start noticing your determination. The world respects those who are relentless. Eliminating plan B doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means believing so deeply in your vision that you refuse to settle for anything less. It means trusting yourself enough to know that even when things fall apart, you'll find a way to rebuild. It means betting on yourself and your ability to adapt, learn, and grow. You stop saying, what if it doesn't work? And start saying, what if it does? You stop thinking about failure and start preparing for victory. This mindset separates the average from the exceptional. It's the difference between those who talk about success and those who live it. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to remove every distraction, every escape route, and every excuse. When you do that, you leave yourself no choice but to rise. And that's when you'll see what you're truly capable of. So don't give yourself a plan B. Give yourself a mission, a purpose, a vision so strong that you'd rather struggle in pursuit of it than live comfortably without it. Because when you commit fully, when you go all in, you don't just chase success, you create it. Pressure is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up isn't the absence of pressure. It's how they respond to it. Pressure reveals who you are when things get hard. It tests your patience, your resilience, and your hunger for success. Everyone wants to win when it's easy, but the true test of greatness comes when everything is on the line. When your back is against the wall and quitting feels easier than continuing. That's the moment when pressure can either break you or build you, and you decide which it will be. When you face challenges, setbacks, or failures, the natural response is to panic or doubt yourself. But Eric Thomas teaches us that pressure is a privilege. It means you're being trusted with responsibility, with opportunity, with the chance to grow. Diamonds aren't created in comfort. They're forged under immense pressure. Likewise, your character, your confidence, and your purpose are all shaped when life squeezes you. When everything feels heavy and uncertain, that's when you develop strength, endurance, and clarity. You begin to discover what you're truly made of. The key is to stop running from pressure and start channeling it. Use it as energy. Let it push you instead of paralyze you. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself that pressure is proof you're on the right track. It means you're stepping into something bigger than your comfort zone. You cannot evolve by staying comfortable. You evolve by doing what scares you, by taking on challenges that seem impossible, by facing what others avoid. Pressure doesn't crush the prepared, it refines them. It strips away excuses, distractions, and weakness until only strength remains. Think about every major breakthrough in history, in business, sports, science, or life. None of it happened without someone facing immense pressure. The athlete on the world stage, the entrepreneur on the brink of bankruptcy, the student fighting to overcome every obstacle, they all felt that same weight. But instead of folding, they turned it into fire. They turned anxiety into action. They took that stress and used it as momentum to push harder. Because when the pressure mounts, you can either break down or break through. The choice is always yours. Turning pressure into power starts with your mindset. You have to train your mind to see obstacles as opportunities and pain as progress. When life challenges you, it's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to develop you. Every failure teaches resilience. Every struggle builds toughness. The people who make it to the top aren't those who never feel pressure. They're the ones who embrace it, who thrive under it, who say, bring it on. They understand that greatness requires growth, and growth requires discomfort. So the next time life feels heavy, when responsibilities pile up and the results don't come easy, don't complain, convert it. Let the pressure focus you. Let it sharpen your vision and ignite your drive. Let it remind you why you started in the first place. Pressure is what transforms potential into performance. Without it, you'd never know your limits. And without testing those limits, you'd never surpass them. Eric Thomas often says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you'll be successful. That kind of hunger is born from pressure, from those moments when you have no choice but to fight, when giving up isn't an option. That's when you find out who you really are. So don't run from pressure. Step into it, own it, turn into your power, because every ounce of pressure you survive becomes proof. Pain is not the enemy of success, it's the foundation of it. Every person who has ever achieved something great has walked through seasons of struggle, discomfort, and sacrifice. Yet most people spend their lives running from pain, avoiding challenges, and seeking comfort. The truth is, you can't grow in comfort. You can't rise to greatness if you're afraid to hurt. Eric Thomas often reminds us that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. When you choose to embrace pain instead of escaping it, you transform it into your greatest teacher. Pain teaches discipline. It teaches endurance. It teaches you how much you can take before you break. And then it shows you that you can take even more. Every sleepless night, every rejection, every failure, and every moment when you wanted to give up but didn't, that's where strength is born. Success is not built in moments of celebration. It's built in the quiet moments when you're hurting, tired, and alone, but still pushing forward. Pain builds character because it strips away everything fake. It forces you to face your fears, your weaknesses, and your excuses. It reveals what you truly want and how badly you're willing to fight for it. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. It's like a muscle. It only gets stronger when it's pushed beyond its limit. The same is true for your mind, your willpower, and your spirit. You must stretch yourself until it hurts, until it becomes uncomfortable, because that's where the breakthrough happens. Most people quit when it starts to hurt. They think the pain means they're on the wrong path, but in reality, it's a sign that they're getting closer. The more resistance you feel, the more progress you're making. You have to learn to see pain not as punishment, but as preparation. The struggle you're facing today is shaping you for the strength you'll need tomorrow. Eric Thomas says, don't cry to quit, cry to keep going. When it hurts, don't let that be your excuse to stop. Let it be your reason to continue, because pain is the price you pay for progress. Every successful person you admire has a story of struggle behind their success. They failed, they suffered, they sacrificed, but they didn't give up. They turned their pain into fuel. They understood that what hurts now will heal later. And when it does, it will make you unstoppable. The pain you feel today will give you the power to inspire others tomorrow. It's what connects you to your purpose and builds empathy, resilience, and gratitude. Pain also brings perspective. When you've gone through enough, small problems don't shake you anymore. You stop complaining about minor setbacks because you've survived worse. Pain humbles you, but it also empowers you. It teaches you patience and focus. It gives you appreciation for progress because you know what it costs. And once you've been through real pain, you realize that comfort is overrated. Growth becomes the goal, and pain becomes the proof that you're evolving. So the next time life gets hard, don't run from it. Lean into it. Embrace the struggle, because it's molding you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. Pain is temporary, but the strength it leaves behind lasts a lifetime. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every tear builds endurance, and every challenge prepares you for the victory ahead. Success doesn't come to those who avoid pain. It comes to those who endure it and use it to rise higher. When you embrace pain as part of the process, you stop seeing it as something to escape and start seeing it as a path to greatness. That's when you stop merely surviving and start truly living. Focus is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. Without focus, your energy is scattered, your direction is lost, and your effort is wasted. To achieve something extraordinary, you have to give yourself completely to one goal. Not two, not five, but one. You have to be obsessed with it. Every day, every hour, every decision should move you closer to that single purpose. Eric Thomas often says, you can't hit a target you can't see. And that's the truth. If you don't have a clear focus, you'll spend your life running in circles, busy but never productive, active but never advancing. Focusing relentlessly means cutting out distractions, ignoring noise, and silencing every voice that pulls you away from your purpose. It means saying no to good things so you can say yes to the best thing. Too many people fail not because they lack talent or ambition, but because they try to do everything at once. They chase too many dreams, follow too many opinions, and spread themselves too thin. But success requires concentration. It demands that you pour all your strength, passion, and discipline into one direction until it breaks open. When you focus your energy on one thing, that thing expands. When your mind, body, and spirit are all aligned toward a single vision, nothing can stop you. The greats, whether in sports, business, or art, all share one trait: focus. They wake up thinking about their goal. They spend the day working toward it, and they go to bed visualizing it. It's not luck that separates them, it's focus. Eric Thomas says, average people focus on what they're getting. Legends focus on what they're becoming. When your goal becomes your identity, your motivation changes. You're no longer chasing results. You're becoming the person capable of producing them. Focus builds consistency, and consistency builds excellence. You can't be world class at something you only give half your attention to. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, opinions, fears, doubts. All these things compete for your focus. But when you're truly locked in, none of that matters. You stop checking what others are doing and start perfecting your own craft. You realize that every minute wasted scrolling, comparing, or complaining is time stolen from your dream. When you focus relentlessly, you stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You wake up with purpose, move with urgency, and refuse to settle for good enough. Every action becomes deliberate because you know exactly where you're going. Focusing on one goal also requires patience. We live in a world obsessed with instant results, but mastery takes time. You can't microwave greatness. You have to give it seasons of effort, repetition, and refinement. You'll have days when progress feels invisible, but that's where most people quit. Don't stay focused even when results are slow, because slow progress is still progress. The seed doesn't grow the day you plant it. It grows because you keep watering it. Keep your eyes on the goal, even when nothing seems to move. The discipline to stay focused when others get distracted is what separates the successful from the average. And remember, focus doesn't mean perfection. It means direction. You'll stumble, you'll adjust, you'll evolve, but you'll never lose sight of the vision. Keep reminding yourself why you started, what's at stake, and what it will feel like when you finally make it. Every sacrifice, every lonely night, every setback will make sense when the goal is achieved. Eric Thomas reminds us, I can, I will, I must. That's the mindset of focus. No matter how tough it gets, you stay locked in until it's done. Because when your focus becomes unshakable, your results become undeniable. That's the power of a relentless one-goal mindset. Motivation is powerful, but it's temporary. It's the spark that gets you started. But discipline is the fire that keeps you going. Motivation depends on feelings, and feelings change. Some days you'll wake up ready to conquer the world, but other days you'll feel tired, uninspired, or discouraged. That's when discipline becomes your greatest weapon. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up consistently, regardless of mood or circumstance. Eric Thomas says, you won't always be motivated, so you must be disciplined. That's the truth that separates the great from the average, the doers from the dreamers. Discipline is built in the small decisions you make daily. It's waking up early when the bed feels too comfortable. It's putting in extra hours when no one's watching. It's saying no to distractions, to shortcuts, to excuses. Discipline is not glamorous. It's gritty and repetitive. It's doing the same hard thing again and again until it becomes second nature. While motivation screams, do it when it feels good, discipline whispers, do it until it's done. The most successful people in any field don't rely on hype or emotion. They rely on routine, structure, and consistency. They've trained themselves to move with purpose, not just passion. When you're disciplined, you don't negotiate with your goals. You don't let your emotions dictate your effort. You do the work as it's part of who you are, not just what you want. Motivation says, I'll try. Discipline says, I'll finish. Motivation gets you to the gym once. Discipline keeps you going every day. Motivation starts the business. Discipline keeps it running when profits drop. Motivation helps you begin. Discipline ensures you don't stop until you win. The truth is, life rewards those who are consistent, not those who are occasionally inspired. Discipline also builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you prove that you can be trusted. You strengthen your self-belief. You no longer rely on external validation because you know you can depend on your own effort. Each act of discipline becomes a deposit into your future success. It's a quiet form of power, one that doesn't shout but speaks through results. When people see the success, they often call it talent or luck. What they don't see are the countless days of disciplined effort behind the scenes, the days when motivation was gone but the mission remained. Eric Thomas often tells his audience, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And what do beasts do? They work, they grind, they stay consistent even when no one's cheering. They show up when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's painful. That's discipline. It's what turns ordinary people into extraordinary performers. It's what keeps you moving when others quit, Motivation will give you a burst of energy, but discipline gives you endurance. Motivation fades when challenges come, but discipline thrives under pressure because it's built on habits, not emotions. To develop discipline, start by mastering your mind. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start acting like the person you want to become. Create routines that align with your goals. Plan your day, protect your time, and hold yourself accountable. When you feel lazy, remind yourself that every choice either brings you closer to your dream or further away. Choose progress even when it's uncomfortable. Over time, discipline will replace motivation as your driving force. You'll stop chasing the feeling and start building the lifestyle. Motivation is the beginning, but discipline is the bridge between dreams and results. It's what ensures that when the excitement fades, your commitment remains. You don't need to feel inspired every day. You just need to stay consistent every day. Because when you live with discipline, success is no longer a matter of if. It's only a matter of when. Belief is the foundation of every great achievement. Before anyone else sees your potential, you have to see it yourself. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in you. That's where true power begins, in the quiet conviction that no matter how impossible it seems, you are capable of making it happen. Eric Thomas often says, you owe yourself the belief that your dreams are valid. Your effort matters and your time is worth something. Because if you don't believe in your own ability, no amount of talent, luck, or opportunity will save you. Belief is what turns vision into victory. Believing beyond limits means betting everything on yourself. Even when the odds are stacked against you, it means trusting your grind, your purpose, and your heart when no one else does. Most people give up not because they're weak, but because they stop believing that success is possible for them. They let fear, doubt, and failure convince them that they're not enough. But belief is not about evidence. It's about faith. It's choosing to see possibilities where others see problems. It's deciding that no matter what happens, you will find a way. That mindset turns ordinary people into legends. Every great achiever started with belief, not resources, not connections, but raw, unshakable belief. When you bet on yourself, you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for someone to validate your dream. You stop asking, can I do this? And start saying, watch me. That's what separates the doers from the doubters. Belief gives you courage to act when everything inside you screams to stop. It allows you to take risk, to fail and get back up, to face rejection and still keep pushing. Because deep down, you know that the only real failure is quitting. You understand that your destiny doesn't depend on anyone else. It depends on your willingness to believe and act relentlessly on that belief. Believing beyond limits also means seeing yourself as more than your circumstances. You might be broke now, struggling now, unknown now, but that's not your final chapter. Your current situation does not define your future. The moment you start believing differently, you start behaving differently. And when your behavior changes, your life changes. Eric Thomas went from being homeless to one of the world's top motivational speakers because he refused to accept the limits placed on him. He believed when there was no reason to. He believed when nobody else did. And that belief turned his pain into purpose and his struggle into success. But belief isn't just words, it's action. You prove your belief through effort. If you say you believe in yourself, but you don't work for it, that's not belief. That's wishful thinking. Real belief makes you move. It makes you wake up early, stay late, and grind harder than ever. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It creates them. When you truly believe, you give 120% because you know you have something to prove, not to others, but to yourself. Belief fuels consistency, and consistency creates results. The stronger your belief, the greater your resilience. And yes, there will be moments of doubt. You'll question if it's worth it, if you're good enough, if you're wasting your time. But that's when belief must speak louder than fear. You have to remind yourself why you started and what's at stake if you stop. You have to silence the noise and focus on your vision. Every time you choose belief over doubt, you strengthen your inner power. Every time you keep going when it's hard, you expand your limits. Eventually, what once seemed impossible becomes normal. Belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself fully, others begin to believe in you too. You inspire people, not through talk, but through action. You show them what's possible. So bet everything on yourself. Trust your work, your vision, and your ability to grow. Because when you believe beyond limits, nothing can stop you. Not failure, not fear, not time. The world moves aside for those who know where they're going and refuse to give up. You are that person. Believe it, live it, and watch your life rise to meet your belief.